You ever notice how people lose their dreams long before they even begin? It doesn't happen dramatically. It doesn't happen with a failure, a rejection, or a mistake. It happens in the smallest moment. The moment they tell someone, 4 seconds, 1 sentence, and the entire trajectory of a life shifts without anyone realizing it. This is the habit nobody talks about, the one that silently sabotages dreams, goals, projects, careers, relationships, everything. And it looks so innocent. You sit with someone you trust, your partner, a parent, a friend, and you say, "I'm thinking about doing this." And you expect support, validation, a spark. But instead, you feel something leaving your body, a leak, a drop in energy so subtle that if you blink, you miss it. Your goal just lost power. Here's the part most people never learn. Talking about a goal creates the illusion of progress, and your brain relaxes. It thinks you've already moved 1 step forward, but energetically you've just stepped back. Tesla used to say that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. He wasn't talking about spirituality, he was talking about physics. And the physics of human intention works exactly like this. When you expose something too early, the frequency destabilizes, and the world reacts. That tiny moment of sharing, that's the crack where doubt enters. And doubt doesn't need volume, it only needs a doorway. Most people imagine sabotage as someone actively trying to stop you, but Freud would laugh at that. He'd say the real danger is the subconscious, yours and theirs. Because the moment you share a goal, 2 subconscious minds meet. Your excitement and their internal world, which you don't know. Their fears, their traumas, their scarcity, their envy, their frustrations, their hidden agendas, their hopes for you, their hopes for themselves. Everything silently interferes with your timeline, and none of it is intentional. A parent says, "Are you sure?" It sounds risky. They're not trying to harm you. They're projecting their fear. A partner says, "But what if it doesn't work?" They're not doubting you. They're afraid of losing you. A friend smiles, but something in the eyes doesn't match. You don't know their story, their jealousy, their unhealed spaces. And Jung would say, the shadow communicates even when the person is silent. People don't need to speak to contaminate a dream. Sometimes their silence is enough. This is why your biggest goals die in conversations that lasted less than a minute. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Some of the people who love you the most are the ones who will unintentionally sabotage you the fastest. Not because they're bad, but because your growth threatens the stability of the relationship. Change is destabilizing. Evolution forces realignment, and not everybody is ready to realign with you. Some people prefer the version of you they already understand. Now listen closely, because this part matters. It's not just about emotions, it's also about frequency. When you share a goal in its infancy, you expose it to external waves. Opinions, fears, envy, projections, disbelief, and your own energy has to fight all of that before even taking the first step. Most goals don't die because you lack discipline. They die because you talk too early. And you already know this. Think of the last time you shared something exciting. Maybe you told someone you'd start a business, write a book, change careers, move cities, break a pattern. And then, after hearing their reaction, the fire inside you dimmed just a little. Not enough to notice immediately, but enough to matter. And days later you realized you weren't as motivated anymore. You weren't as clear. You weren't as certain. Your dream didn't die. It was drained. Now let me give you the truth nobody gives you. Silence is not secrecy. Silence is strategy. Silence protects timelines. Silence strengthens frequency. Silence preserves momentum. Your dreams are like seeds. If you expose them too early, the cold kills them. If you water them silently, they grow roots. This is why the most successful people you admire, the ones who actually execute, stay quiet for months, sometimes years. Not because they're hiding, but because they understand energy. They protect the early phase. They only speak once things are solid enough to resist outside vibration. So here's the uncomfortable question you need to ask yourself. How many goals did you lose because you told the wrong person? How many dreams never happened because someone, without meaning to, shifted your frequency by 5%? Just 5, enough to derail the path. If you want your next goal to survive, you need a new rule. Don't talk about it until the momentum is unstoppable. Not to prove anything, not to hide anything, but to honor the energy that builds your life. And here's the good news. When you stop speaking and start moving, your life accelerates faster than you expect, because nothing drains your power more than explaining your dreams to people who were not meant to understand them. This video is the beginning of that shift, a quiet one, but a powerful one. And in the next part, we're going even deeper into the psychological mechanics behind why people sabotage what they love, and how to build a silence that protects your purpose without isolating yourself or disconnecting from others. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Most people don't lose their dreams because of failure. They lose them because of exposure. And the exposure doesn't come from enemies. It comes from the people sitting right next to you. The people who love you, worry about you, or simply don't understand you. We all grow up believing that sharing is a form of connection. And it is. But not when it comes to goals. There's a reason high performers protect their silence like a vault. And there's a reason your life feels lighter and clearer when you stop explaining yourself. Because the moment you open your mouth, two things happen. 1, you lose internal pressure. 2, you invite external interference. Let's break these two without losing the rhythm. First, internal pressure. Your brain can't tell the difference between describing a future and taking a step toward it. So when you announce a goal, your mind releases dopamine as if you already accomplished something. You get the reward without the work, and suddenly your drive is lower. Your urgency drops. Your fire cools down. You didn't fail. You leaked. This is why so many people start strong but never finish. They spent their energy announcing instead of building. Now the second part, and this is where things get psychological fast. External interference. Humans are frequency contaminators by nature. We don't just speak, we transmit. And the moment you reveal something important, you expose it to the subconscious of whoever is listening. Freud called it unintentional influence. Jung called it the shadow in relationship. Tesla would call it vibrational disruption. But the meaning is the same. Other people's inner world interferes with yours, even if they don't want to. Think about it. You tell a friend about your new project. They smile politely, but inside, they feel envy. Not because they wish you harm, but because your expansion reminds them of their stagnation. That envy has no words, but you feel it. Your goal feels it. Your energy drops 2 degrees. You tell a family member. They panic because the path you want seems risky. They love you, so their fear hides inside their tone. Your subconscious registers the tension. Your motivation drops again. You tell a partner. They worry about losing your time or your focus. Their "are you sure?" isn't doubt about the plan. It's insecurity about the impact. But your nervous system doesn't separate meanings. It only feels the resistance, and the goal loses power for the 3rd time. Do you see the pattern? 1 dream, 3 conversations, and suddenly you feel less confident, less excited, less clear. Not because the dream changed, but because the energy around it did. Now let's go deeper. There's a darker side to this that people rarely admit. Some people, even very close to you, don't want you to grow too much. Not out of evil, out of self-preservation. If you grow, the relationship dynamic changes. If you expand, the distance increases. If you evolve, they have to evolve too. And most people aren't ready for that level of work. So they unconsciously pull you back. They soften your excitement. They ground you. They keep you safe. They keep themselves comfortable. And you feel conflicted because you love them, but something about the conversation drained you. It wasn't the person. It was the frequency. Humans love equilibrium, not expansion. Your growth breaks equilibrium. That's why you feel resistance. So what happens when you stop sharing? Something powerful. Your energy stops leaking. You accumulate pressure. You accumulate clarity. You accumulate momentum. And your moves become cleaner, sharper, faster. You don't have to justify yourself. You don't have to explain the timeline. You don't have to negotiate your destiny with anyone's fear. You just move. And here's the wild part. When you stop announcing things, your life starts shifting faster. Opportunities align. Synchronicities appear. Your intuition amplifies. Your confidence expands naturally because you're no longer splitting your frequency between action and explanation. You're fully in your lane. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time you told someone your plan and felt more energized afterward? Exactly. It almost never happens. Because the world is wired for commentary, not creation. You're not supposed to tell everyone. You're supposed to show up. Silence is your incubator, your protection, your structural integrity. It's what keeps your goals alive long enough to become real. And listen, you're not being secretive. You're being strategic. You're not hiding from people. You're honoring your timeline. Imagine building a house and letting everyone walk in. While the foundation is still wet, the structure wouldn't last 10 minutes. Your goals work the same way. You protect them until they can stand. And then, when the roof is on, when the walls are solid, when the blueprint is executed, you open the door and let the world see. Not because you need approval, but because the work is done. And here's the best part. Silence doesn't isolate you. It focuses you. It strengthens your inner guidance. It sharpens your intuition. It helps you hear your own voice again, without the static of everyone else's fears. In the next block, we go deeper into the step-by-step, how to build this silence, how to identify the people who drain your goals, how to protect your frequency without becoming cold or distant, and how to finally create momentum that nothing can stop. There's a moment in every person's life when they finally wake up and realize, my goals don't need an audience, they need execution. And once this clicks, everything changes, because silence isn't just a strategy, it's a filter. It reveals who's aligned with you and who isn't, and it protects your direction from unnecessary noise. Let's build this out clearly, step by step, so you can feel the shift in your own life starting today. Step 1. Listen to the energy, not the words. You've experienced this. You tell someone your plan and they say all the right things. Wow, that's amazing. Good for you. But something inside you tightens. You feel smaller instead of bigger. That's the energy speaking. Humans can lie with their mouths, but not with their frequency. If you walk away feeling drained, it wasn't support. It was interference. Your nervous system never lies. Trust it. Step 2. Build the habit of quiet creation. Here's how high performers do it. The ones who actually finish what they start. They don't announce the intention. They execute the intention. They don't say, I'm thinking of starting. They say, I've already begun. Not out of pride, out of protection. The less you explain, the more you move. The less you justify, the more you trust yourself. The less noise around you, the more clarity inside you. Silence is productivity disguised as simplicity. Step 3. Identify your energy drainers. Not all drainers are malicious. Some are just fearful. Some are insecure. Some are competitive without admitting it. Some care too much and project their anxiety on you. Here's the truth most people avoid. If someone consistently leaves you confused, doubtful, or less confident, they don't get access to your goals. Love them, but protect your path. Boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. Step 4. Protect your inner world like a sacred space. This is where Tesla's perspective becomes real in daily life. Everything is vibration. Everything responds to intention. Your goal isn't just a plan, it's a frequency, and you are responsible for its environment. You wouldn't plant a seed in polluted soil. So why plant a dream in polluted conversations? Your silence is the soil. Your consistency is the sunlight. Your intuition is the water. And the moment you stop broadcasting your plans to people who don't carry the same frequency, your dream finally gets the protection it always needed. Step 5. Become the version of you that finishes. When you stop talking and start building, something beautiful happens. You create a new identity, a version of you who moves quietly, thinks clearly, acts intentionally, and respects their own future. You're not hiding. You're maturing. You're not being mysterious. You're being precise. You're not being distant. You're being responsible with your energy. Because the truth is simple. Most goals don't fail because they're impossible. They fail because they're interrupted by conversations, by opinions, by doubt, by envy, by emotional frequencies that mix with yours and weaken your signal. Once you remove the interference, creation becomes natural. Step 6. Let your results speak for you. This is the fun part. When you stop announcing every move, people only see the outcome, the shift, the evolution, the new chapter, the new level. There's a power in showing, not telling. It builds respect. It builds magnetism. It builds trust in yourself. You don't need applause on step 1. You deserve applause when the journey is done. Step 7. Choose your circle carefully. You don't need many people in your inner circle. You need the right ones. Look for people who don't shrink your ideas. Don't fear your growth. Don't project their insecurities. Don't compete in secret. Don't make your dreams about them. A real supporter listens without imposing, celebrates without comparison, and encourages without needing control. These people are rare, and you'll only recognize them when you stop talking long enough to observe. Silence reveals truth, the real lesson. Guard your future. Your goals aren't fragile, but your environment is powerful. A comment can redirect you. A doubt can delay you. A projection can drain you. A single conversation can interrupt a year of inner work. So you protect the blueprint. You protect the momentum. You protect the dream until it has enough structure to stand. This is how you change your life without explaining yourself. This is how you shift realities without announcing transitions. This is how you evolve without waiting for permission. You don't need validation. You need alignment. And alignment grows in silence. If this hit you, listen closely. Your next level depends on 2 things: what you stop saying and what you finally start doing. So here's your reminder. Protect your goals. Speak less. Move more. Be intentional with who gets access to your dreams. And if you know someone who talks too much about their plans, someone who keeps leaking energy without realizing. Share this video with them. It might be the wake-up call they've been needing. Because silence isn't emptiness. Silence is strategy. Silence is strength. And silence is the beginning of every life that finally works. Subscribe, stay close, and keep walking with us. This is Human Wave, where awakened minds rise into a life of wholeness and fulfillment.